Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to Adventure Mode, where today we have one very simple goal, the same goal as the previous video, to find the most elite that the Adventure Mode can throw at us, and either be destroyed by or simply destroy them. But first, we are going to have to do something. I've decided, as did many people in the comments, that we're going to get rid of our little ally here, despite the fact I absolutely adore this craft. It just doesn't work in the way I want it to work in terms of the engagements. I'm sure in a normal fight in the campaign, this thing is deadly, but at the moment I am really struggling to find a use for it. But before we completely remove it, I noticed something. I swear I didn't do this. But apparently, we have a prison with a camera attached at the back of this thing. I accidentally captured something completely evil, which I kind of adore. Now I sort of feel bad for what I'm about to do. Oh, fair craft, you've served us somewhat decently, but today, you are removed. That's kind of beautiful in its own weird way. I may have added nukes. I forgot I added nukes. Okay. Well, there we are. We've got all the resources from that, which is great. We're going to use that purely for repair resources because we really need them. Now, of course, what we could do is replace that with another craft, probably something really subtle and just generally useless, just for the fun of it, but really, that would be just weird. So what I'm going to do is likely hold it all for repairs, although I have just spent a little bit in armoring everything up, and yeah, ultimately I think things are looking okay for the future. Now, the one enemy which I really, really want to find is something like the Megalodon, that is the really big new Steel Strider ship. It will likely really hurt us, potentially even destroy us. But that's really the fun in that. Now, before we continue, though, I do apologise, my voice is a little bit weird. In the last video, I had the audio all over the place because I'm speaking really quietly at the moment. It's hard to tell in video since I up all the sensitivity and everything, but I am still recovering and I am really short on breath when I'm trying to talk. Don't worry, I have had everything checked out. I'm okay, everything's fine. And yes, 99% chance this is the very obvious thing which is going around at the moment, because Lathrix catches everything. So, with that out of the way, let's go and find some enemies. So what I'm going to do is just the usual. It's going to go around in circle. What are you doing? Okay. We're just going to go around in circles, just in a small area, and hopefully this will force something to spawn in. And what I'm really hoping is it's not the Titan again for the 100th time. Though I'm fairly certain in the last video, after looking back at the footage, at least one of them wasn't the Titan. Oh, hello. Okay, we instantly have something spawning in. Something over there. That looks suspiciously Titan-like. Why always the Titans? I'm not even going to stop going in circles for this. I've just seen you so many times. Now, I will be using third person a bit more today, since pretty much everyone voted for that in the comments in the previous video. But right now, I'm just going to fire at the silhouette of the thing we've been firing at for very, very long. Well, that's one Titan down already, so it turns out, yeah, we are getting resource from just damaging enemies, which is really nice, because it means if I don't really want to go after the resource just yet, I can just continue to go in circles. So one thing I have changed, although it won't take effect straight away, because I don't want to waste the ammo, is that I've changed my shells back to purely kinetic impact shells. So still using the hollow point, because I really, really like those, but I've removed the high explosive, which means they're less detectable by the enemy LAM system, and ultimately it should just be a bit better versus some of the other high-end designs. I did notice the Titans taking out a lot of our shells. This should counter that. It's less detectable and it has more health per shell. The damage is about the same, actually, so ultimately not much is really lost, just less boom, more thump. Now, you may notice our resources going down all by themselves, and the reason for that is just I've installed a couple of boilers, just really basic boilers, just with the energy turbine attached. So we're getting a little bit more energy. They'll kick in when we're below 80% energy and then turn off above that, and they'll use up a lot of our resources. But we've got so much battery power, the RTGs just weren't cutting it anymore. Oh, hello. Please don't say it's another Titan. You're one of my all-time favourite craft, but I've got to say, kinda getting sick of you. There we go, the main body is now dead. And that is everything. Next time we fight one, I'll just go in third person. So once again, we go in circles. Added some more recoil absorption on all of the weapons. That is much better. Okay, so it's going to be able to fire accurately for a little bit longer before it starts going all mad. Wow, way longer in fact. Okay, that is significantly better. Now, I would like to add more to them, but the problem is we just don't have the space. How I've built it, I've essentially used up all the space in the area for all the railgun charges, and I can't really attach anything else, since I didn't consider the fact I would need recoil suppression since I was going for the whole rain of death with the explosives in the first place. So, yeah. Next time I know better. I don't really use railguns much. Until now, of course. Getting a bit lonely now. Just alone with my thoughts. And the whispers. Okay, I've also changed the particle cannon now to use piercing shots. It's a bit more expensive, so the damage is still okay. It's currently doing... Pew! It's currently doing around about 25,000 damage per one of those beams. It's still firing all 5 of them. So actually, 4 of them are doing about 25. One of them's doing only like 9,000 because it's much smaller, but still. The reason why I've changed it is just because I've noticed a lot of the larger enemies we've faced so far, EMP didn't really do all that much. Because, well, a lot of the godly designs are simply very well protected versus EMP, so I think just adding more to the bulk damage we're doing is probably for the best. I would change the missiles as well, either to being explosive or fragment, something like that, but I still want some EMP. If there's a chance we could capture something, I want EMP weapons which I can just instantly activate. As we slowly spin round and round. I also like the fact I'm spending more time up here than in the actual safe room. How have I not been shot in the head yet? We destroyed another Titan, and I was paying so little attention I didn't even record the footage because I turned it off to check the audio levels. Yep. Can I have something which isn't a Titan, please? Just once? Anything at all. The enemy is so insanely far away. So, yep, this is the 4th Titan so far since entering the game. Hello. Oh wow, the lag from the lights is insane. The game is just coming to a halt. I have 5 of my weapons. There they are. So as you can see, what happens is a shell hits and then a chunk of armor simply vanishes. But look at how fast it's healing. So yeah, clearly... Oh, I was about to say aiming at the torso is the wrong thing to do, but apparently we did so much damage it just erased it from existence. The inaccuracy does return pretty fast, yeah. We can probably fire accurately in bursts, but remember, this is insanely far away. This is at least 4,000 to 5,000 kilometers by the looks of things. 4,000 to 5,000 kilometers? 4 to 5 kilometers, rather. 4,000 to 5,000 meters. We could try and capture you, but you are way too far away. Yeah, trying to fire at something underwater is pretty difficult for our weapon. But there we are. The impact shells. Could be better if we were using a higher gauge. Honestly, I think the advanced cannon could just be better in general. These are pretty basic advanced cannons in terms of how they've been built, just because I am a novice at building them. I will endeavour to get better. Okay, I'm about to try something right now. If I end up getting shot in the back, it means it didn't work. Good, okay. So the reason why that turret there was able to shoot through this before is because it turns out I forgot to flip the firing restraints. So it's still going off the original. So it literally couldn't fire directly backwards, but it could fire directly forwards into my face. Once again, how I have not been killed so far is honestly just a mystery. Now please give me something other than a Titan. I've now lost count of how many Titans I've killed. There is an enemy in the distance, and for once, it's not a Titan. Although that lag is really concerning. Is a second thing spawning in, because that'll be really annoying? Of course it is, and it's a Titan. Yep. So there's a Titan behind us and an interesting enemy in front of us, which I believe is the Thunderclap, based on what I've already seen, since I have seen this thing a lot in the campaign. Yep, it's basically just cram cannons on cram cannons with some extra cram cannons, and by the way, here's a cram cannon. So, let's try and not cheat too much, so we're not going to aim all the way from there. Let's unpause, try and stay on pause as well. Only using the binoculars. I'm going to go for dead center. Let's see if we can take out some of its movement capabilities. Now, one thing to note is that our lovely friend over there, the Thunderclap... Also, why am I flying? I did not mean to start flying. That's interesting. One thing to note is that the Thunderclap is a little bit vulnerable to being flipped. So if I can just take out some stuff around the edges like this. By the way, our shells have been changed again. They are now back to just pure armor-penetrating shells, so no longer are they impact. I think they are actually just better. In a few tests I did with some Titans, they just did way better, honestly. I think impact is really good versus specific targets, especially if you're able to hit the turret caps very reliably. But at long range like this, these are definitely better. At least I think they are. I'm sure I flipped you last time I fought one of you like this. Oh, well. Good night to you. Looks like most of your things are currently offline, which is great. We are, however, being hit by the 9 Titan. You still firing, or are you offline completely? You might sink. You know what? I'm just going to focus on you. Just need to make sure it's below 80% health, and as it sinks... Oh my god, it's actually AI dead. We could have captured that. Seriously? Okay. Turn as fast as you can, and as soon as you're able to broadside, we'll kill a Titan. Don't worry, guys. He's armless. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I feel like I'm going to win this fight. I have to remind myself, although my shells aren't the most accurate ever, this is the distance. So here is us, and this is at full speed. Yep, it's just now in the distance. So there's the problem. I want to face off against enemies closer because A, we're going to do more damage, and B, they're going to do more damage. But they're just so far away, and if I go towards them without firing, they're going to be firing at me the whole time, and I'm going to take unnecessary damage. These shells now go 1,600 meters per second. I just fire them. There they are. Whoa, once again, wasn't paying attention. Hello, laser thing. What are you? Laser thing with cram cannons and bottle cannons. You like your cannons, huh? Why am I not firing all? Nice shields. Definitely Scarlet Dawn. Okay, there goes our large missiles. They are set to explode. What are they set to EMP? I can't remember. Seems like EMP. Stop bouncing around so much. You're being rude. Well, you certainly took a beating, and you hurt us a lot as well. Our repairs are costing a fortune already. But what are you? You are the... Can't pronounce that. Either way. Scarlet Dawn. I think I can pronounce that. I'm not going to try, though. I'm just not in the mood. Too ill! Looks like you're fairly resistant to EMP. Could try and capture it, but also I want to see if I can take out one of the wings. There we go. Oh, that was mean. Oh, lagging out. There's a good chance something else has spawned in. Or it could just be lag from its death, one of the two. Oh good, it's a Titan. So I got a little bit bored waiting around, and I've made a manual version of the dart. Turns out, really difficult to fly these things, and the AI does not have an easy time. Though I'm slowly getting the hang of it, which is nice. Maybe I should have kept on at least some of the auto-balancing. Whee! How does this look in third person? Probably really ungraceful. I'm also using nowhere near all of the... Oh, no, down, down, down. These controls are so annoying. Using almost none of the max thrust because I am terrified of just crashing into something. Yep, that's just about how it looks. Spin! Yep, I don't trust me to fly anything. I really should try and make a proper manual plane. This one is just not forgiving enough. But on the upside, I have just found out how to do this. Activated the tractor beam, and we're now returning back home. So it turns out the problem is the old PID system this thing had was almost completely to do with the AI, and since it no longer has the AI, well, that's a problem. But yeah, definitely need to just build a manual plane at some point, just for the fun of it. Something small like the dart. Just not so difficult to control that... Oh, I'm spinning. Haha! Take that, me! That was pretty cool. Yep, I think I've had enough of this now. I'm starting to feel a little bit nauseous. Stop spinning out so much. It just needs to gently try to get back to a neutral position. If you had engine or something, it would be really easy to use, like a proper engine with thrusters and everything, but it only uses wings for its controls, and the PID doesn't like using that if you've got manual control. That's the problem. At least from what I can notice. Again, I've only been spending 5 minutes making this thing. Yeah, time to scrap it. Whee! Into the water we go. Splish. Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. Back to waiting. The crossbones! Oh, that is lovely. I mean, it doesn't stand a chance versus us right now. I'm being brutally honest there. We're just... Honestly, we're just too big. But you know... Let's give it a fair chance. Let's get nice and close. Oh yeah. Forgot I made you a second ago. Be free! Well, apparently the updates have been kind to you and you are completely broke. Good to know. Boom! Well, apparently the test nuke's controls have been completely inverted for reasons I don't know about. That was going to be way more fun than it was. Okay, it's firing. Can I shoot those down with these? I mean, I doubt it, but I kind of want to just randomly try. Okay, now I can't see a thing. That's lovely. Good job, it's nighttime now. Just going to swerve out of the way of that. I'll wait until it's daytime before we start firing. I do want to see if we can actually capture this thing, which would be insane. Oh, it feels like I'm stirring. It feels like I'm steering into this, but I shouldn't be. It fired when I was moving that way. How did you know I was going to try and dodge? I mean, it makes sense, but how? Okay, you. Mostly goodbye, you. This is the power of manual fire and why I think I stand a small chance versus that really large Steel Strider enemy. Not because our ship is better. Oh, God. Oh, boy. That's going to cause some damage. But purely because manual fire is so good, now the aim point isn't a thing. Well, it is, but it can't target things like the AI or ammunition anymore, so we have the advantage of being able to do things like this. Okay, can start reversing now, see if we can dodge. I'm a little bit worried because right now I'm only firing with 2 of my cannons. And the third one should definitely be able to fire, which means I think this naughty fellow has taken out one of my very, very expensive railguns. And that's going to take just an age to reload and an absolute fortune to even rearm. You know, we could have just destroyed you right now. Now the problem is, the crossbones has multiple AIs. Oh, okay, the side weapons are firing. So trying to actually capture this is going to be a nightmare. But I want to capture it nonetheless. Just moving backwards and forwards. Seems to be doing okay. I say as a shell comes right across the bow. Are we done? Nope, one more. Oh, it did take out the weapon after all. Oh, though thankfully, it didn't take out the base. It would be repairing from the base first, so all it did was take out the turret cap. So what I've done is I've actually got quite a long neck on these things, so that essentially all the explosive parts are really, really below deck. On top, it's just a turret cap. It's a few gauge increases, a bit of the recoil and stuff, but that's it. None of the explodey parts. Well, they're saying that we're not actually using explosive ammo at the moment. But still, you get the point. All the expensive, really annoying stuff is down below. Still cost a fair bit, though. There we are. That should keep you in the right orientation to us. Ideally, we want to kind of stay behind it, or to the right of it, because that seems to be where everything's been disabled. Okay. Now, we can make this a bit stronger. You know what? Let's just reduce that a little bit more. That's probably too much. About there. Oh, this is going to be painful. This is because I'm moving forward still, isn't it? Yep. Hi there. Now, I actually don't know where the AI are located on this thing. I know there's one in the center. I know that much. But outside of that, not much. Yeah, so it was just because we were far too close. And by that I mean because we were moving. Oh, that is... Yep, that's a problem. Large missiles containing EMP. Whoa, look how much EMP damage that's doing. Almost 200k, and it's still completely fine. And we've lost our harpoon lock. Okay. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Do not fire. Do not fire. Have I taken out at least one AI? Yeah, must have. They're not firing at me. What I need to do is just put a fire control down here so I can fire one right next to it. Eventually, I will break your brain and you will learn to love me. Naturally, we start getting attacked by a Titan. Commencing surgery. So I know one of the mainframes is in there. Problem is, I don't know where the other two are. Everything which I keep on thinking is a mainframe is actually a weapon. This thing has way too many weapons. Oh, I did! Oh my god, that actually worked. I did not see that coming from that small shot, but there we go. We got 3 seconds to get close enough. How are we not close enough? There we go! Okay, that really caught me off guard. I was just really refreshing the harpoons then, but apparently that worked. I think the EMP must have been like there. So the EMP, the AI must have been somewhere. Oh, yep, I can see. That's general purpose cards. Oh, yeah, heavy armor. Oh, I've just realised I should have just fired wherever I saw heavy armor. What do we do with the crossbones? Here's a question. These harpoons, are they actually pulling me up because I'm holding this using the tractor beam? Also, that is terrifying. The crossbones. Now in floaty form. I love the crossbones, I really do. It's definitely my favourite of the Deepwater Guard ships, and perhaps one of my favourite ships of all time. For now, I'm going to scrap it, but I'm going to save the design, And if I ever want to respawn it, perhaps in the next video or whatever, I can. But for now, it's just a load of resource. I should have added nukes. Everything's better with nukes. That's so creepy, just how it falls away block by block. Being fed to our main ship. Okay, I'm actually running out of time now. My throat's just giving out anyway. I can hardly talk right now. I think just a few more fights, then I'm going to call it, but I definitely want to fight some of the other scarier, larger vehicles. I'm glad to see that we have the largest godly of one of the factions. But I want to see the Bulwark, which actually isn't a godly anymore, but I want to see the Onyx Watch's larger vehicles. I want to see the Grey Talons. I want to see... Well, honestly, I want to see the Megalodon, because that thing is going to be absolutely terrifying. One more Titan down. Also, the game crashed like 3 times for some reason, so a little bit on edge about that. The Lazarus! Oh, I remember you. I really like the Lazarus. Okay, we're actually facing in the complete wrong direction right now, which is not the best. The Lazarus itself probably won't get in range to be damaging for a while, but I'm not sure about its aircraft. They're definitely not the same aircraft I fought against a long time ago, so... As soon as they're within range, just knock them out the sky if possible. As we'd imagine from an enemy. Looks like we've stalled it a bit there. Okay, where's the other one? Wasn't there 2? Oh yeah, there's one right there, okay. Yep, that is broken. Did I mention that we need more recoil suppression? There we are. Because right now, the inaccuracy isn't actually that bad. Even with the recoil, it's less than 1 degree of accuracy, but such long ranges. It's kind of horrendous. I do kind of want to allow the Lazarus to at least use its main weapons. So I will try and get closer, even though we are being bombarded. So what I need to do is jump down. I really expected that to do the job. Oh well. Is that close enough? Yep, the Lazarus is now using its crams, and it means our main weapon are going to be a little bit more accurate as well. Let's see if we can get this thing into the water. Darn shields. More vulnerable to shields, less vulnerable to anti-munition systems. Oh, can we tip it? Just firing in short bursts here. Oh, almost. There we go. Well, that worked. One last shot, although I am descending, so unlikely to have hit. Plop. And we just shred its corpse. We could try and capture it, but once again I am running out of time. Still, good to see anything which isn't a Titan, honestly. Now, what I am actually scared of seeing is some of the Scarlet Dawn designs. Some of them are absolutely horrendous. As in, absolutely terrifying. Trying to fire at things under the water, quite difficult. Perhaps sending it into the water was not the best of ideas. Who would have thought? Come on, hurry up and go below 80% health and sinking. Or break in half, one of the two. There we go, 2 damaged, good enough. Now as for you, you are very annoyingly placed. So what I'm going to do is something silly. That is release my little friend there. Which should hopefully now work. Nope, you're still going after the 2 damage thing, aren't you? Please die quicker so this thing doesn't just plop into the water. There we go. Good boy. Ah, the test nuke. I never improved it. Don't know why. It's really, really slow. Very cheap, though, which is nice. Hello. There we go. 3 nukes all ready to go. Press a button, they'll all be released, and they'll just go to whatever target their AI says to go towards. Basically, the biggest first. A non-Titan enemy has approached. The Retaliator. Oh, I do love the white flyers. Oh, they are so close to being the Blood God's chosen. Is that like a chef? It looks like a chef's hat. What are you killing your chefs for? Okay, so that's a lot of guns. Really far away, but they are clearly more than capable of hitting us, so... Gonna load up all the weapons I have, and hopefully it's gonna be okay. Oh, ignore the random scaffolding, I was just trying to test out an idea, just looking at different sizes and stuff, and well, it's a bit of a mess at the moment, so... Okay, we need to get into the safe room as soon as we can. Whee! I did release the nukes, but for some reason they're not activating, which is always really good. And then fire all weapons, trying to stay as far away as I can. This is where I'm normally going to fire, so I'm going to just keep on locked on like that. That way I'm not cheating and aiming at things we normally can't see. Turns out the nukes are just being spawned way too low, so ending up in the water each time, which is a little bit on the annoying side. Serious bit of lag there, which means either we just took a lot of damage or the enemy did. Doesn't look like us. So I'm hoping we may have taken out one of their weapons or something. Okay, they do have torpedoes, but it looks like things very fast ones. We're hitting here, so I'll re-aim there. Oh, it looks like we've knocked out something. Good shielding on this thing, which is really annoying for us. And naturally a Titan spawns, because every time I'm trying to get a good one-on-one, a Titan spawns. Okay, I've ended up kind of pointing at the enemy, which isn't really what I wanted. Turn around a bit. Okay. Are our railguns even firing? It looks kind of like they weren't then. Well, now they certainly are. Okay, huge explosion there. A lot of our shells are getting through and they are doing a lot of work. We're about to hit 2 million damage total. Also, I've just realised I know why we're turning so much, because I forgot to turn off the control block. There we are, all fixed. We've definitely lost more damage. We've definitely lost more materials we've gained so far. I've also reduced the amount of repair bots on the craft. I'm starting to think it's just way too weird. I kind of dislike the fact we get materials from the damage we do, to be perfectly honest, because it kind of gives us a sort of leech effect, which I really don't like. Because it's difficult to manage healing and everything during combat, because, well, I do need all those healing bots, and I can't bother to keep on remaking them and removing them. I think there's a way of turning them off, and I might just need to do that during combat, because I don't find it as fun. Okay, there we go. Unreal thing now is a couple of turrets, and at this point, it is close enough, I'm sure we would be firing at them. They're not exactly very well hidden. Did I mention our accuracy is utterly atrocious? Part of the problem is, because we're so rapid fire, it's difficult to get that much recoil suppression. I also might need to use the stabilizer fins on the shells, which will improve accuracy. But I'm not sure how that's affected by other things. Yeah, I just need to learn advanced cannons, honestly. I'm clearly novice, and it's really showing at this point. Wow, lots of lag there. Okay, that's all but defeated, so now... Oh, degraded mode. First time I've seen that in ages. What I'm going to do now is swap targets and take out... Look how far away the Titan is. Why does the Titan always spawn so far away as well? Okay, finally! The Titan's gone, because it was just so far away I was hardly hitting it. So what's left is you, so let's go back to broadsiding that. In fact, we can go backwards and get a bit closer. Did one of my test nukes just reach the target? Yes, it did. The others, on the other hand, are a bit too damaged. Well, a test nuke apparently killed it, so well done. I suppose at the same time with the pairs as well, yeah, I am still waffling on about this, I do apologise. My mind at the moment is a bit fuzzy, so I keep going in circles. But one thing in terms of repairs during combat, of course, we are still using up the resource, and survival mode is... Well, so adventure mode is all about survival, that's kind of the whole point. It's the long haul, it's not just, well, you want to fight versus an enemy. It's really, you should be taking every advantage you can, so that you can survive. At no point am I really saying this craft is better than any others, because my god, it is not. I'm actually starting to loathe this craft, which is really weird to say. I kind of love it, but at the same time, I kind of absolutely hate it. There are so many flaws in it, which I don't really want to bother removing, so it'll take so long now, and it will remove the idea of it being built up over time. But I am also craving just building a new vehicle from scratch, honestly. One which doesn't have so many design flaws, especially on the weapons. I think you've heard me say recoil about 1,000,000 times this video. So with that, I'm afraid I really am all out of time for today's video. I feel like today's been a really weird one in terms of just my mood and everything else. I feel like I've been way more down on myself than usual, and ultimately I think my mood's just going all over the place as the last of the illness slowly fades away. But I did enjoy today. It's been very interesting seeing all the other designs, and I'm really hoping we see more things other than Titans as we continue. I feel like perhaps we have 1 or 2 more episodes left really before hopefully the campaign is out, so we can start the campaign properly, because, well, I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to just normal ship fights, which I can watch properly without having to control things. Of course, I could give this an AI, but that's kind of the whole fun of adventure mode, so I do want to play it through like that to the fullest, because then, knowing me, in about a month's time, I'll be absolutely sick of not being able to control things, because doing that in the campaign can get a bit weird, especially when you want cinematic shots. As you can probably tell, my speech is just going away right now, and is that an enemy or just general lag? Just general lag. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourite, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Hopefully soon we'll see some of the Scarlet Dawn designs, the really endgame stuff, because I am completely certain that could kill us, just very easily. As long as they can take out a weapon or two quickly, we can't really repair that. That's just far too expensive. So it's all about that initial burst. Things spawning so far away is really a problem as well. So, hopefully next time, closer fights with more deadly enemies. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.